today I was working on some benches and shelving to get the garage cleaned up when thought, hey, I'd just throw a quick video together so I can show you what I'm doing. It's easy shelves you could do, doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of money. Few supplies, I'll show you what I've got going. Okay, the materials we used were some 2x3s and a 1/2 inch thick 4x8 piece of plywood. The 2x3s, we got 3 of them. As you can see, we mounted them on the wall parallel to the existing studs. And we made them about 32 inches apart because the studs are 16 inches apart in the wall. So with these 3 in this short wall, we're going to build some shelves that will come out. And although we have a garage door right here, we're going to build them out about 10 inches. The way we did it was cut some 2x3 that are 9 inches long and cut out some plywood that's in a triangular shape. And I'll show you how I did this. When you put it all together, it's going to look like this. I've got the screws in here already so that once I put it in place and get it level, it's easy to go ahead and attach it. But the way it fits, just like that. I want to give you a close-up view of what it looks like when it's mounted. You can see it fits right in there. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle piece. You can pull it out. If you want to reposition it, raise it, lower it, take the 2 screws out. It fits securely. The 2x3s mount together. The plywood, these 2 screws that are each 2 inches long on either side. They're staggered so they wouldn't hit each other in the middle of the wood, and the same on the sides. All right, let me show you how I put it all together. Okay, we're here at the piece of plywood. We've just got it laid out on a couple of sawhorses. This is the 9-inch 2x3 that you want to use. Let's put it up in the corner like this, where it's going to mount. And this short piece just represents the stud on the wall, like this. So this shows me the full length that the plywood needs to be. Make a mark there. I'm going to use my square. We know where the mark is right here. So let's just draw a line. Like that. Okay, so we know this width is the 2x3 that's going to be the shelf and the stud on the wall. And we want to go down, in this case we want to go down a total of 8.5 inches. So here's your 8.5 inch mark right here. Now you also have to mark over here the thickness of your 2x3. So with it right on the edge, make a little mark right there, so that's the thickness of that. Now I'm going to join these 2 points from here, the 8.5 inch mark, to the width of the 2x3. Okay, so that's going to be one side. We're going to have 2. So if you flip this over, this side will be the opposite. So you want to come up the distance here of the wood, take into consideration your cut. It's going to be right about there. So this marks the back side. I can use my square. We'll make this cut. So now we should have 2 mirror images of the same thing. Let's cut it out. We'll drill some holes. And we'll see how it all fits together. Now I'm just making one. If I was for the purpose of the video, when I'm making more, I'll draw lines the full length of the board and make multiple units at once. But for this unit, this purpose, we're just going to make the one. And I'm doing it in real time so you can see really how easy it is. There's one side. Okay, there's our 2 sides. I like to go ahead and drill some pilot holes. And on this side, it really doesn't matter where you put them. I'm not measuring exactly, I just know I want them to be far enough into the 2x3. But the board that's going to be on the opposite side, I want the holes to be staggered because I don't want the screws to hit each other. So I'll just make them slightly off from one another. Okay, got all our holes drilled. Okay, now let's put it together. Got my screws here. I like this style. These are this number 8 by 2 inch construction screws. And I like them because they have the T25 star attachments, so they don't slip the way a lot of Phillips will. And let's start them in the holes. Okay, here's our 9-inch piece. Set it like this. You can see this is going to fit like this. So I'm just making sure that the front is level, straight. Just attach it. Together here, the front nice and smooth. Okay, there's the shelf. Let's go try it out. It's like a glove. It's in there, it's snug here, snug on the sides. So now what we got to do is draw these 4 screws in and it'll be secure. Make some more, add them wherever you want. If you need to move it, take the 4 screws, reposition, and place it. Here are the shelves I've already completed. These are on the back side of the garage, and I've added an additional 2x3 so that there are 4 of them total, and just made a bunch of the shelves. And the 2 at the top, you'll see, are holding a very long, heavy extension ladder. And because of the distance from the garage door from the wall, I actually made that shelf a little shorter. It's like 7 inches wide. And you can see it holds the ladder just fine. The weight's not a problem. In fact, I put all my weight on one of these, which is over 200 pounds, and no problem at all. It doesn't flex, doesn't budge at all. So you can see I've got my steel up off the ground. I got some wood scraps there. I got my ladder. So that's what it'll look like when it's finished. The other side is only 3 strips because I wanted to leave room in the middle for some other items that are going to be moved in and out, and also if a vehicle's parked there, have a clear space for the car door to open. Anyway, this is what it looks like. It was easy to do. Like I said, just use some 2x3s and a sheet of 1/2-inch 4x8 plywood and a bunch of screws, and literally in a morning you can have it all made, and it'll look great. It's actually a little smaller. That'll mount higher up where the rail of the garage door is, so that actually there's enough clearance to be able to get in and out of that space. So if this helped you at all, man, I appreciate a thumbs up. Subscribe. We got videos coming out all the time. I'm doing some things around the garage to try to get it ready. Maybe some other things I'm working on as well in that area. But pretty soon we're going to start Project Cheyenne. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a 95 Chevy pickup. We're going to put a 5.3 automatic out of a 2002 Chevy Tahoe in it, along with rebuilding the complete suspension, steering. We're going to add rear disc brakes, sway bars. It's going to be a fun little project. Anyway, stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, do it yourself. You can do it. Save some money. Bye for now.